Family wall, if you will. You have their parents. Then we have Wilbur, a set of twins that passed away about 3 days old. Then Orville and Catherine. So there were 7 kids total in the family. But Orville and Wilbur rarely dated, never married, never had any kids. So the only descendants of the family are from the 2 older brothers. His sister married when she was in her 50s and she never had any children. This complex is a collection of about 5 buildings, all dealing with the full background of the Wright brothers and the development of the airplane. So we start off with the early part about the family. We deal with their 3 careers. Single-gallon gas.
I do have a question. It's really not related here, but it is related to them and their airplane. Because down at the Air Force Museum, is there another building that has another one of the airplanes or something?
It was an open fuselage type of plane. So you're going to have all the air and whatnot that you would have. Yes.
I mean, is it?
That's right. That was a nice one that used to phone in. Even one of them never actually read this. So that's the equivalent of about $1,800 today.
That's a lot of money.
Well, and that is a high-end bicycle. There were some other models available that you could get for a lower price. But bicycles were still an expensive item.
But yeah, just like technology today, like flat TVs coming out, they were thousands of dollars.
Yes, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess the more common something common.
I call that the Joe Biden pedals, to where you can push down as well as pull up on them. If you can manage that for getting off. That was his difficulty.
Yeah.
Texture, you clip your shoes in. So it accomplishes kind of the same thing. So you can pull up on them as well as push down. Generals, which St. Clair was one of them. Now, Colonel Dayton was a revolutionary.
The flying machine, in which wings will play a conspicuous part. It's a good a national necessity. One of the world's great inventions.
Few articles have created so great a revolution in social conditions.
We see how they apply the principles of bicycle mechanics to this drawing table, allowing them to draft accurate plans without having to take repeated measurements. In their youth, Wilbur helped Orville fashion a printing press from scrap metal, wood, and the folding frame of a bike. At the age of 17, Orville launched a printing business, which Wilbur later joined. In their daily newspaper, The Evening News, with a growing reputation as expert bicycle mechanics, Wilbur and Orville decided to open a new business with longtime friend Eddie Sun. 4 years later, they were manufacturing their own brand of bicycles. In the summer of 1896, my own active interest in aeronautical problems dates back to the death been achieved. Lilienthal had devised an equation that would predict lift, and Samuel Langley had used steam to power his aerodrome in 1896. Birds helped lead the brothers to the answer.
If the bird's wings would sustain it in the air without any muscular effort, we did not see why man could not be sustained by the same means. The thought came to me that possibly it adjusted the tip of its wings. Here was the silent birth of all that underlies human flight.
One afternoon, while in the bicycle shop, Wilbur picked up an inner tube box. He noticed that when he twisted one end, the other side would turn in the opposite direction. Wilbur called this principle wing warping, a concept he would apply to wing design. Within days, they constructed a kite shaped like a bi-wing glider to test this idea.
Hardly wait for one to come to get at something that interests
Now, they
us.
were not
That's
really able to
happiness.
do that with the.
By the end of 19... Testing their new glider at Carillon, the Wright brothers learned that by warping the wings and turning the rudder at the same time, they could execute
Supposed to get you all pumped up and get ready to go see the airplane now, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
I usually suggest going around to the right. So this is the actual airplane that they talked about in the movie. It was restored with about 80% of the original parts, and Orville Wright himself oversaw the restoration of the plane, but passed away before this exhibit opened to the public. This is the only airplane on the National Registry of Historic Places. So, going through the controls of the plane, in his right hand, he has the rudder control, which is at the far end of the plane as we're looking at it. In his left hand, he has the elevator control, which is directly in front of us. And then if you can see on his hips, he has the cradle to do the wing warping. So to do a smooth turn, the operator has to shift his hips and move the rudder at the same direction. And like they say on the television infomercials, oh wait, there's more. The engine has no throttle control. The engine is either on or it's off. And you can't let go of the controls to do anything in regards to your engine. So if you look behind this hat, you see that there's a string that's draped across there. That's the fuel shutoff. So when you're ready to end your flight, you kick back with your head, turns off the fuel in your engine, and then you glide to the ground. So if this sounds like something you want to try, they have a simulator. It's a 4-cylinder gasoline engine. Yeah. Out at the Wright Brothers Interpretive Center out by Huffman Prairie, they have a simulator, and the price is correct, it's free, and they'll give you an idea how you did by how hard you hit the ground. So I died the first time, I was crippled the second time, and the third time I walked away. This is one thing flew about the 1906. 1906, they actively tried to sell the airplane. The U.S. Army came up with a 2-page specification, and they designed what they call the Model A design to hit that criteria. When the Model A plane was finally able to meet the Army requirements in 1909, they went into production with the Model B. So the Model B is the production model that they built in the west side of Dayton area, and they have a replica Model B in Springboro that's FAA certified, and you can get a ride on that airplane. We have it. That was the plane I'm thinking of. They would do the test flights and then fly those out of the Dayton South Airport there. Or I should say the Dayton South Airport. Sounds like you're familiar with Dayton. And I'm sure you're aware that Deeds had 2 airfields. Production and some of the testing that they did with the airplane business. Yeah. And Talbot was very instrumental Talbot Brothers were very instrumental in the incorporation of the plant that was building the model that they have in the planes. That's Talbot Tower? Yeah, that's where the name comes from.
So we're silk stocking
mine goes the other way. My nephew is too tall to fly the ospreys, or the marine ospreys. Yeah. But he's working at the factory, so every one that they build, he flies.
Wow.
He tests, he does their first flight with every one.
Well, that's cool. Where did they build it?
Texas.
Yeah, we have to get one.
The full wingspan is 40 feet 6 inches. The wingtip. The question becomes, why the 6 inches? Okay. Each of the brothers weighed about 145 pounds. The engine weighs 180 pounds. So the wings on the engine side are 6 inches longer than the wings on this side. And as you look at the plane, all the cross members that you see here that are silver colored, that is all painted wood. The Wright brothers were fanatics about protecting their concepts, and they painted the wood silver. And all the wire that you see all over the airplane is spoke wire for the bicycle shop.
They used to catapult for this.
Yes, they did. The winds are consistently sustainable. You don't have a 20-mile-an-hour winds consistently. They needed a catapult system to get enough lift. Differences in when they pass away.
160, wasn't it? 165 or something.
So Orville might have an
Or, yeah, undergloves. Oh, yeah.